Today we're doing Module 6, Quadratic Functions, F.IF.8 and A.SSE.3, Level 3 Reteach. If a toy rocket is launched at a vertical upward from the ground level an initial velocity of 128 feet per second, round to the nearest hundredths if necessary. So we're using our normal formula, which are, and we know that it's always negative 16t squared plus 180t. And then what is the direction? It is opening down. How long will it take to reach the maximum height? In this case, when I'm asking for the maximum height, I am looking for the axis of symmetry. Axis of symmetry. So that means I'm going to do x equals negative 128 over 2 times negative 16, so x equals negative 128 over negative 32, and x equals 4 seconds. Now I typically use x, and I know it's really t, but I tend to use x often, even though it's really t. So it's 4 seconds. So what is the height of the maximum toy rocket? That's when we go back and usually substitute for y. So in this case, I'm going to substitute that 4 for my t, and I'm just going to plug it into my formula. And then I just quickly do the math, which is what you're seeing right now. I'm multiplying, I'm taking the square root, and so forth. And that's my answer, 256 feet. How long will it reach the ground? That's when I set it equal to 0 and find my roots. Because when it's hitting the ground, that would be kind of where it hits the x-axis. So I'm going to find my roots to the problem. So that's why I'm going to set it equal to 0. And in this case, I notice that I can divide everything by... I'm not going to do it that way. I'm going to take this and I'm going to factor out a 16t, and I get t minus 8. And then I'm going to have negative 16t equals 0, or t minus 8 equals 0. So t will equal 8. Divide, and t would equal 0. So my roots are 0 seconds and 8. Taking a look at the next one. A flare is launched from the deck at the lifeboat that's 8 feet above the surface. The initial upward velocity is 120 feet per second. So we're going to write our equation. We know it's negative 16t squared. And then we're going to put plus 120t plus 8. So we also know that this is going to open down. And this is not, I look at this problem, I know I cannot solve it by factoring. So the best method is to solve this by using my favorite equation, which is the quadratic equation. So here we go. So we're going to do x equals negative b, which is 120 plus or minus the square root of b squared, minus 4 times negative 16 times 8 all over 2 times, or 2a. And I'm just going to quickly do the math. I like to show you guys all the steps so that you can see exactly where you might have made a mistake in your math. So I want to make sure I show you everything. So I'm just going to work myself through this problem, and you can see, hopefully, if you made a mistake, where you went a mistake. Also, when you do this, make sure you get 2 answers. And I like to show everything, so that's what I'm doing right now. Even though it's a little messy, but I do show everything for you guys. So on this one, I get -242 because same signs, add and keep. And then I get x equals 7.57. And then this one, different signs, I'm going to subtract, and I get a positive. And I get x equals -0.066. Can't have it, so it's going to be 7.57 seconds would be the correct answer. Taking a look at the last problem. Jason jumped off a 480-foot cliff into the ocean vacationing with some friends. The initial velocity is 16 feet per second, round to the nearest 100. So we know h of t equals -16t squared plus 16t plus 480. So again, that's going to give me the axis of symmetry. So I do x equals -16 over 2 times -16, x equals -16 over -32, x equals 1/2 second. Then I'm going to try to get to the highest point. So we're going to get what y is, or in this case, h of t. So I'm just going to plug this in. When I square it, I get 1/4. And then when I do this, I can reduce, I get 8. Then I can take the next step and I get, I can reduce and I get a -4 plus 8 plus 480. And then I get h of 1/2 equals 480 feet. And finally, Jason hits the ground. When I hit the ground, I'm trying to find the roots, where the ground or the water. So this would be the roots. This is where I would factor. This is where I would use the quadratic equation whenever I get to this point. In this case, this one seems simple enough. I can divide everything by 16. And I get t squared minus t minus 30. Then I notice that I can use the box method. So I get 0 equals t minus 6, or t plus 5. So t will equals 6, or t will equals -5. Can't be -5, so it will be 6 seconds. Thanks for listening, and have a great day.